Welcome to Great Neck Library Media Chat. I'm Debbie, your host for today's episode, where we will have a leisurely conversation about media. Joining me today is Angela, a fabulous librarian trainee. Hi, Angela.
Hi, Debbie. How are you?
I'm doing well today. We are going to, since you're a librarian, my first question to you is, how do you feel about film adaptations on books?
Depends. I'm sort of, if it's done well, then I'm all for it. But if they kind of get it wrong, then I'm really not.
Well, have you seen anything that was awful?
Oh, I don't know if, but I don't know if it was based on a book though. I literally fell asleep during this film. This was eons ago. It was Vanilla Sky. And
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that was a book adaptation. It was Tom Cruise, and I really.
Okay, that was a foreign film.
Oh, it was adapted from a foreign
Yes,
film?
it was a Spanish film. I don't remember who was in it, but it was a Spanish film, and I do believe Antonia Banderas was in it, and also the actress that does Vicky Barcelona.
Yes, Penelope Cruz.
Yes.
I love
Yes.
her. Yeah.
So-
Maybe it was, yeah, I really thought that movie was awful though. I slept through it in the movie theater. I went with one of my good friends and I fell asleep. Yeah. So again, if it's done well, then yeah.
Even though you didn't like it.
I didn't like it now.
How did you watch it? Did you watch it with subtitles? Or
Oh,
it was the American
It was the
version?
American. It was the one with Tom Cruise, and then she was in there in that I believe.
Oh, okay.
So she did the Spanish, and then she was in the English version.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, that's a shame. Do you have a favorite series or franchise?
I do. I tend to stream a lot. My favorite, like it's at the very top of the list, is Ted Lasso, because I like Brits. I like British comedy. Although the creator that is Jason Sudeikis, and he's American, but he was on SNL, and he's so funny, and I just love the whole premise of the show. He's never taught football or soccer in Europe, and so he goes overseas to teach this. To coach this group of wonderful footballers, but they're just comedians too. I mean, they come from a comedic background. It's so good. It's heartwarming. It's sweet. It has the drama. It makes me laugh though, like really that guttural laugh. So I have to say Ted Lasso.
Okay. So even though the show takes place in the UK, what kind of comedy is it? Is it British comedy or is it American comedy? Because I know sensibilities from across the pond
They're different
are
than American.
different.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a lot drier than than Americans.
Jason, he comes from like American optimism, but I don't know if it's like his level of comedy is like silliness, and then yeah, he meets with the Brits, and the Brits are very dry and they're very like witty, but the two seem to meld so well together, because he also writes for the British actors, so. But yeah, I think those two worlds, and he kind of brings his Americanisms, and they bring their Britishisms, and then there's like a mixture of both. Yeah, there's just like there's so many sayings, like he says, like they're hilarious. Like there's one player, he's Danny Rojas, and he goes, "Football is life," and I love that. I use that phrase a lot. Like it's one of the players that he's coaching on the team, and it's just I don't know. There's so many Ted Lasso like diamonds that come from
Do
that
you
show.
like it because Ted Lasso is very optimistic?
Yeah.
And the life is.
But there's also this undercurrent with him. He also suffers from like really crippling, debilitating anxiety and panic attacks. But so he kind of infuses. He's so optimistic, but then there's that undercurrent. But isn't that life? I mean, it can be optimistic, and then there's underlining currents of it can be hard. So I think that's why it's so like beautifully done.
Well, this one of your movies that never fails to make you happy.
Ted Lasso, yeah, for sure. But there's like this movie on Netflix, and it takes place during World War II, and for some reason I absolutely love it. It's the Potato Peel Pie and Literary Society.
That was a book.
That was a book. I
That
know.
was a book that was adapted.
Seen it on
I
Netflix?
have seen it. It makes me want to read the book.
And it makes me want to go to one of the islands. I think it's Guernsey. I haven't read the book, but bought a copy of the book. Yes, the Guernsey Literary and Potato Peel Pie Society. Without fail, I mean, it deals with a heavy subject, World War II, and it talks about how the Nazis occupied Guernsey.
While you were watching did you want to look up everything about it?
I did. I actually looked it up. I was like, wanted to visit it. Yeah, I wanted to visit the island and kind of get a notion of I don't know if that's where they filmed it originally, but yeah, I also looked up the history of it, and sure enough, the Nazis actually did occupy it from like 1940 to 1944. So yeah, I'll go down a rabbit hole if I really, really enjoy like a film.
What is another film that you went down this rabbit hole that you liked a lot?
Recently, I think I mentioned this to you, but the film is Denial, but I won't get too much into it. Deborah Lipstadt wrote the book, and there's a movie with Rachel Weisz. She's the lead character, and it's like I'm drawn to period pieces and like World War II, and I actually watched the film. No, I read the book first, and it has more detail to it. And
Are you a history buff?
I don't know if that I am. I couldn't spell dates at you, or I do like period dramas, period pieces, yeah.
What about soap operas? Because life, history is a soap opera.
Yeah,
They
it
have
really
sex,
is.
murder, greed.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I've seen Bridgerton. I saw, going back to like the streaming, I've seen My Lady Jane. It's on Amazon, and that's a period piece. And yes, it has to do with history, and Lady Jane, like, I think she was on the throne for 9 days, and then she was decapitated.
Would you say that is a favorite genre of yours?
Yeah, probably. Like, yeah, period historical dramas. Yeah, I think so. I tend to go watch those a lot. Another one is We Are the Lucky Ones. That was on Hulu. I watched that. Yeah, I thought I didn't have a genre, but I guess I do.
I mean, what do you think of remakes of classic films?
Oh, there's a recent one. I've been logging onto Canopy as of late. And there's this series that I've always loved from 1995. It's The Buccaneers, and it's based on a book, Edith Wharton. And apparently they did do a remake, and they say it's horrible. So I don't want to watch the remake. I'm kind of sort of on the fence of making classics remakes, because the 1995 version is really good, and I can't tell you.
Who was in that?
Do you know Carla Gugino, Debbie? She was like the Spy Kids mom.
Oh, yes.
Okay,
yes.
so I don't know if was one of her first films. She's really young in it. There's so many different characters that they're not as well known though. Oh, Mira Sorvino.
Were the Buccaneers, was it a British version? Was it an American version?
So it does get, I think if they film it in America and in Britain. Have you seen it? It's 1995, and they're all American kind of socialites, but they're new money, and they can't seem to get into like society in America. So one of the girls' governesses, so Carla Cugino's governess, who's British, is like, oh, you know what? Why don't they have their season in London? And so they mean like the Buccaneers. They're sort of pirating the season in London, and like the Brit girls, there's so very few men to go around. Apparently, good eligible men, and so they're seen as pirating like the London season and getting themselves wed into good society. Although they already come from it in America, but they can't break open in America.
Okay, because they're nouveau riche.
Yes, exactly, nouveau riche.
Yeah.
And so it's
Knickerbockers.
Yes, exactly. They're not the, I don't know, Vanderbilts or yeah. But they remade it apparently. I don't know for which program, which television, but apparently it's awful, and I have no desire.
How do you know it's awful? Do you read?
I read the reviews.
You read the now.
Yeah.
Do you have you ever read a review that you thought was bogus, that you truly loved, and the professionals panned it?
Oh gosh, that's a really good one. I'll have to think on that one. What about you? Is there one that you thought was bogus and everyone panned it, but you really really loved it? Because I know you're so good with movies.
I like cheesy things. So
okay.
I'm a hopeless romantic, and I just love things. It's the right time,
Yeah.
the right mood.
Exactly. Like if you're having, this is how I say it. If I'm having a bad day, I don't want to see something sad or depressing. I want to see something funny and uplifting.
Now, do you also have a season that you watch? Like, for instance,
Yeah.
Christmas time, you'll watch all these Christmas movies.
That's me.
It's and what are some of the movies that are your favorite season movies?
Well, okay, so I start like in the fall. Like that's when that's my favorite kind of period, and so we go into Halloween, and I am not, talk about one genre that I don't love. I'm not really into horror. I don't like scary stuff, but I love Tim Burton, so I'll watch Sleepy Hollow because that doesn't scare me, or Dark Shadows that he made.
What is it about Tim Burton that you liked?
I love that stylistically, it's him. Way that he uses his cinematographer, or just the way he tells a story, you could tell that he does go along those lines of horror, but it's like kind of goth too.
What about John Lynch? David Lynch, John Carpenter, David Lynch.
But they all okay. Can you remind me of some of his? As you can see, I don't know David Lynch very well.
His movies are.
It's not Mulholland Drive,
Velvet.
is it? It's
No.
Mulholland Drive. Twin Peaks. Okay. I didn't like Mulholland Drive. And if you ask me, I can't remember why. I think I saw it. It wasn't my favorite.
He did The Elephant Man.
Wait,
he did
with
Eraserhead.
with Bradley Cooper? No, wait. He did Elephant Man I think on Broadway. Never mind.
Lost Highway.
Is he into like dark genres?
What about Stephen King?
Oh, he scares the bejesus out of me.
Even his movie.
Can I tell you? I read it when I was like a teen. I don't know what I was thinking because the cover gave it away, a scary clown, right? I read the book and I'm horrified about clowns. I think they might be in sewers. It's really, really freaky. I know there's more to it, but I do love him for, actually, I think he wrote a short story of The Shawshank Redemption, and that was made into a film. And that, the longest time, I would say that was one of my favorite films. Yeah, I think he did a short story of that. Also, Stand By Me.
That's the movie.
I love that film. I love that film. 4 kids looking for a dead body, and it's not as scary, so that's not as terrifying. But didn't he also do The Green Mile? Was that his?
Yes, I believe so.
That one was good. Yeah, but was it Shawshank? 'Cause his short story, I feel like I read that somewhere. I could be wrong.
It's funny how you watch a movie and then you find out that they're books.
Yes.
And then you don't know which is better because sometimes if you watch the movie,
You
know,
learn, yes, and he did. And see, I'm not a huge fan of everything because it is scary. I love the Shawshank Redemption. And you know what it is? It's my favorite, and it's also something that like whenever I see it makes me cry. Is when Morgan Freeman is so I don't know. Have you seen it, Debbie? Have you seen the
yes,
film?
yes, I loved it. I think Morgan Freeman at first didn't want to do it because of the title, like he didn't really know what it was about, something to that effect.
I couldn't see anybody else be red in that film. You know he's red, and Tim Robbins is Andy Dufresne. You could tell that I love it because I've seen it so many. I know the names, but it's at the end when he gets out of jail finally, and then he goes looking for
Now,
Tim.
did you see it in the movies or did you see
No,
it at home?
no. I learned Frank Cappa's "It's a Wonderful Life." It wasn't a well liked film, right? It didn't do. I don't think it did well at the box office. And then I saw it by taking it out from the library and just thinking, wow, it's just amazing. I love the ending, you know.
Now, when you watch a movie at home,
Mm-hmm.
do you have a special routine? Like my routine.
Yeah. What's
you know,
yours?
when I watch movies,
Yeah.
or of course it has to be dark because I have to make sure.
That's true. I do
And-
dim the lights. You're right.
Then it has
Yeah.
to be dark.
Okay.
But also, I have my covers,
Okay. Yes.
and I'm on the couch.
Yes, same. I got a new couch in January. I try not to eat, but now that rule has gone out the window. So I need to have some sort of snack when
But
I'm
I have
watching.
to have my blankets.
Oh, so you're
And it depends what time. And I have to make sure that I'm not tired because I'll
Yes.
fall asleep.
Yes.
And then I'll be
Yes.
upset. And then I'll have to
rewatch it.
rewatch it.
Okay. I know I told you gotta watch The Bear, but I have to go and rewatch it because there were times that I got like kind of my mind wandered, and so because I'll be on my phone if I will get distracted unless it's something really really good. And but yeah, it has to be cozy. I'm in my PJs, by the way. I have to be in my PJs.
Oh, yes,
Yeah,
definitely.
you have to be cozy.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. Especially if you're settling in for the
Now, have
evening.
you ever had a watch party at your house?
No. Do you do watch parties?
I wouldn't say during COVID.
Oh yeah, no. During COVID,
We didn't
no.
have a watch party, but we had
Yeah.
a watch party on When Harry Met Sally.
Oh,
that
that's my
we
favorite.
were watching the movie
Yeah.
the same time on FaceTime
Oh yes, we did.
or on Zoom.
That's right. Well, I think I tried to do that with my friends, not for movies per se, but game night. I've tried to do that, like to get everyone to watch, even if you're at your own house, and that's been a little difficult. Maybe it's because I don't know how to navigate it.
That's during COVID, and of course it fell apart. But
Yeah.
it reminded me of Sally
Oh.
and the two of them.
Yeah, that's my favorite film. Like, you know, when the fall starts, I don't know why, but I love watching that film in the fall because don't they go through the various seasons?
Yes, they do.
Right, and you
they
got
end-
New York and the fall, the leaves
And
falling.
they end around New Year's.
Yes. Oh, that's my favorite when he's running and you have Frank Sinatra in the background singing "It Had to Be You." I love that film. I'm blanking on his name, but I love him. He's one of my favorite comedians. Not Meg Ryan.
Billy Crystal.
Yes, I love him. I love him.
Did you ever see Soap where he started and he was...
Is that a soap opera or a film?
It was a television series.
Mm-hmm.
It was, I guess, a take on soap operas.
Oh, really?
But it was, during that time you had Mary Hartman
Yeah.
as that character.
Wait, when was
And I
the...
think he was on Saturday Night Live. Or,
He was. He had like that famous character, and then he cracked into movies. My favorite are also when he hosts the Academy Awards.
oh, yes.
His opening numbers, they were like they're the best. But like I like Analyze This. Yeah.
And City Slickers. And then when he
City
went to-
Slickers was
and when he went to
good.
host the Oscars.
Yeah. He's
And,
so good.
And then he was doing Jack Palance,
Yes.
with the push-ups.
Yeah, that's right. He also did the Oscar opening because I've probably seen it more than once on YouTube for The Godfather. And there was a couple of, he did like a song and dance number. That's when he's like really, really good.
I have a
Fields of-
favorite old movie, black and white, you really enjoyed.
Casablanca? Haven't seen it in forever, but that's a really good one.
And that goes with your whole World War II.
It does. I don't think I've strayed from that at all. But I also like Red Butler. Oh, Gone with the Wind. That's such a good one.
So, okay, we've gone through a lot today.
Oh my God, we totally
Thank
did.
you for chatting with me about films and movies
No, thank you,
and
Debbie.
TV.
I had a lot of fun.